Welcome to Adventures World. Put on your headphones, disconnect from reality, and spread your wings. Enjoy your trip.
It really was a tough day. Your friend Olimar and you are exhausted and can't wait to get back home to finally have a long, restful sleep. During the flight to go back home, neither of you feels like talking. In fact, you're both too shaken and disturbed by what you saw in Gore's laboratory. The aspiring hybrids being burned and reduced to ash, the cauldron made of bones, Glittra's despair as she watched her brother willingly surrender to Gore's madness and death, clinging to the illusion of a better life. For a brief moment, you wonder if what you saw was real or just a figment of your imagination. But there's no time to dwell on it. The house has opened its doors to let you in. Finally, thanks to a well-deserved restful sleep, you'll be able to forget it all, at least for one night. But once inside, you immediately realize how far your hopes are from reality. Indeed, on the sofas in front of the fireplace, about a dozen strange creatures are dining and chatting friendly.
Welcome back.
Exclaims the Supreme Lady of the Sacred Island as she sees you enter, while silence suddenly falls over the room.
My home is your home.
Replies Olimar, no longer feline but returned to his wizardly form.
To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit, gentlemen?
Olimar asks, pouring himself a beer and settling onto a sofa.
If you don't mind, before we discuss the reason for this visit, I'd like to start with introductions. In fact, our brave hero has still to have the pleasure of meeting the guardians of the Four Realms. Well then, the creature on my right is Kalod, guardian of the air, accompanied by his wife Gunmar. On my left, we have the Fire Guardians. They are Firkil and his son, Megr. In front of me, you can see the Guardians of Waters, a young married couple of whom we are all extremely proud, Prince Shamir of the Waters and his wife, Shamul. Since you are a man, I chose to introduce you last to the Guardians of the Earth and the Abyss. They are Sir Perjus and Lady Yoda.
Among those unusual creatures, you feel strange, different. The Guardians of the Air appear agile, almost ethereal. On the other hand, the Fire Guardians are two huge specimens of red dragon males. Except for the fins on their feet, the young couple who guard the waters might appear like any other couple. Their gazes are tender. They seem very in love and happy. The Guardians of the Earth and the Abyss, despite the long claws protruding from their fingers, are the creatures most similar to you, though their eyes are unnervingly cold and distant.
Let's get to the reason for our visit.
Saphirian continues.
The situation is becoming unbearable. We wanted this meeting to understand what is happening in each realm, how the hybrids are acting. We need to devise a plan to destroy them once and for all. I know that Olimar and our infiltrator are doing very well. By the way, Olimar, would you please share with everyone what you've discovered?
As you may have learned from the information I sent you yesterday, the hybrid's realm is ruled by Agon. I'm not certain if it is a creature of flesh and blood, but my impression is that it may simply be a spirit. Agon's right-hand man is Truskul Gur, an evil scientist who in his madness, and with the aid of magic, creates hybrids in his laboratory. Today we witnessed the creation of a hybrid, but honestly, even I am too shocked to describe what we saw. Therefore, I will send this horrible memory directly into your minds so that you all may understand what these monsters are truly capable of. There are a couple of other things I want to inform you all of. The first may be especially hard for the Guardians of the Air. Glittra lives among these monsters in Hybridum and Scalior. You will find them both in the memory I'm sending you. Furthermore, these hybrids plan to attack and destroy the Four Realms and the Sacred Island, using an army of shadows.
The wizard stops speaking. Suddenly, you notice pure terror in the eyes of the creatures. You sense that they are receiving Olimar's memory. Kalod, the Guardian of the Air, takes his tearful wife in his arms. Old Firkil, the Fire Guardian, breaks the silence.
These demons must be destroyed as soon as possible.
He declares indignantly.
They are using my realm's resources for evil and harmful purposes.
I'm not sure how, but they are dominating and manipulating weather conditions without worrying about the consequences of their actions. This is causing serious harm to the atmosphere and to nature.
Khaled interjects, worried.
In my realm, I believe they are savagely plundering our ocean floors. They are stealing precious gems, energy sources, sacrificing the lives of all the creatures that inhabit the waters. These hybrids show that they have no respect for life or living beings.
Shamir declares.
The same things are happening in my realm.
Sir Purgus adds.
They force the land to produce all kinds of fruits, grains, and flowers throughout the year. Hybrids behave in the same way with animals. All edible meats must be available all year round. This causes stress in both flora and fauna, not to mention their recruitment tactics. I don't understand why our people listen to them and follow them.
He continues.
It's because they promise everything a creature of any kind believes will bring happiness.
Olamore observes.
They promise wealth, success, power. They promise that every creature, once hybrid, will be eternally happy. My friends, the promise of happiness is priceless.
He concludes.
So what do you propose, Great Wizard?
Presses the Supreme Lady of the Sacred Island.
I propose a multi-front approach. You guardians must leave your palaces and go among your people. You need to understand what makes your people dissatisfied, the causes of their unhappiness, their desires and their needs. Once you understand it, solve these problems and bring happiness to your people. In this way, few will feel the need to seek happiness elsewhere. In the meantime, our human hero and I will try to discover these demons' weakness so we can strike and destroy them at the right time. By the way, today that mad scientist gave our friend a pouch of Plusipy. It seems to be a substance that can bend the will of anyone who ingests it. It is lethal, and according to the scientist, there is no antidote. But our human friend believes that perhaps something to counter its effects might exist.
Is that true?
The Supreme Lady asks you.
Yes, ma'am. I believe an antidote exists, but Gur does not want to reveal it. However, if you could analyze it, here is the substance.
You reply, handing the Queen a small fabric pouch.
You've done a truly excellent job. Congratulations to you both.
Saphirian says pleased.
Just a moment, please. I'm receiving some images from my realm right now. For all the realms. Look for yourselves.
The Air Guardian transmits to everyone what he is seeing. A group of strange armored figures, heavily armed, is invading the realm of the air. The armor doesn't seem to care about most people unless they resist. Their focus appears to be on smaller creatures and some adult females, whom they seize and carry away.
Oh no, they're taking our children and pregnant females. But why?
Gunmar asks, terrified.
Because one of their problems is the inability to reproduce. They are not able to have children. I suspect they'll also be taking children and pregnant females of other species to experiment on, aiming to understand how to create non-adult hybrids.
You explain patiently.
What?
Saphirian objects in disbelief.
I am pregnant.
Schimmel suddenly reveals, frightened.
What? I didn't know anything about it.
Shamir replies, both amazed and irritated at the same time.
I wanted it to be a surprise, but
There's only one solution to stop this. Evacuate all children and pregnant females from your realms. We'll hide them all on the sacred island. I'll make sure it's made invisible, and we'll summon the island's mages to build strong shields in case, through magic, they manage to discover anything.
Olamore suggests.
And the creatures already taken? The ones they're taking now? What will happen to them? They belong to the realm of the air. They are part of my people.
Khaled roars.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything that can be done for them.
Meanwhile, the drama of the taken creatures, the cries of the terrified crowd, the blood, and the clash of weapons as people try to stop the carnage, unfolds before your eyes.
No, this can't be happening.
Gunmar says, rising from the sofa. The other guardians follow her lead and prepare to leave the house.
There is something you might be able to do, Queen Gunmar. As you saw, your daughter is among them. I don't think she's aware of what's happening in your realm, but perhaps if you could speak to her. After all, you are her mother. I don't believe even she can do much for those already taken. But if we had Glitra on our side, perhaps we could gain some advantage.
Olimar continues, joining the Air Realm's queen at the doorway.
I will try, but I can't make any promises for her.
I am certain that Glitra still holds the heart that won me over so long ago. But I'm also convinced that it will be up to us to save her, both from these villains and from herself.
After bidding farewell to the Lords of the Realms, without a word, you and Olimar each withdraw to your respective rooms.